Okay, guys.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay.
So hey guys, let me try to
Morning.
see. Okay, perfect. You guys can see pretty much.
Yeah, I got the.
Perfect. So today we're going to be making a recipe for strawberries and cream or fresas con crema. It's a pretty quick and simple recipe, and you can customize it a lot of different ways.
Okay.
So you can make also as much or as little as you want. So for today, I'm going to be using 2 1-pound boxes of strawberries. And if you want to add more, you can add more. If you're just making for yourself, you can do a little bit less. But it's all going to have the same kind of procedure. So right now, because I bought these from the store, I'm going to go ahead and put them into a separate container and go ahead and rinse them off. Put them to the side. Let me go ahead and rinse them off, and then we'll bring the strawberries right back onto the camera.
Okay. Let's see.
Okay, so the strawberries are nice and rinsed off. We just do that to get the excess dirt off. If they have any dirt, if there's any loose things on the strawberries. Now I'm going in with a few paper towels and I'm just patting them a little bit dry. Going in around. I don't want them too wet. Okay, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to grab my knife and I'm going to go ahead and cut my strawberries. So you can cut your strawberries whatever size you want. If you want to leave them whole, you can go ahead and do so. If you want to cut them in halves, you can do that as well. Today I'm going to be cutting them into 4 pieces.
4 pieces.
I'm going to cut them in half and then I'm going to cut them in half again. And I'm just going to repeat this process with all of my strawberries.
Okay.
And then if you want to do little pieces, like see how I'm just doing the 4. If you want to place another slice here and do little like bite-sized pieces, you can do that as well. So completely optional.
Thank you.
Has anybody ever tried making this at home or ever tried it? Strawberries and cream?
Yeah, I did.
I tried it before.
You've done it before, Andrea?
Yeah.
I did.
I've
so
never
good
made it, but I've tried it. One of my coworkers, Daniela, she usually brings this to the potlucks, and I love them. So
it's so good for a dessert.
We can do it. And she sent me over the recipe she used. And we're not doing all the ingredients that the TikTok recipe used.
Okay.
We're doing some of them, and that's the fun part about this recipe is you can customize it.
It's good for a dessert.
It's good.
It's pretty known for like a dessert, right?
Yeah, it is. It is the ugly one.
All right. And then as I'm cutting the strawberries, I'm just taking the pieces with the leaf off to the side. We won't be needing them. And I'm putting the strawberries into a separate container right here, all nice, washed, and diced. And then we'll move on to our other ingredients.
Okay.
And then, does anybody know why I have gloves on?
You're cooking?
Because I'm cooking. Am I cooking for myself or am I cooking for other people?
For other people.
I'm cooking for other people. So while you can use gloves while you're cooking for yourself, it's not absolutely necessary. But since we're going to use this as our snack for Turlock here today, I washed my hands and dried them very well. And then I
Okay.
went ahead and put on some food safe gloves. See how they're not the nitro gloves you can see through my hand?
Yeah.
These are food safe gloves
Yeah.
because I'm cooking for other people. I also have my hair pulled back. I
Yeah.
don't want any hairs coming into the strawberries. Again, it's for other members.
And
And then,
Yep.
yeah.
So since you want to cook, you have to have clean hands too. We wear gloves.
Yeah, exactly, Andrea. So I went ahead and washed my hands before I put on my gloves. And then
Yeah.
once I'm done with this, I'll go ahead and give them another hand wash with some soap.
You know what?
And then likewise, I'm making sure that everything is clean. So I went ahead and washed my strawberries extra good, right? I know
Yeah.
sometimes we've all done it where you just eat a strawberry or a grape out of the packaging when you're at the store because it just looks so good. And if you're doing that, that's okay. If you're going to be using those ingredients to serve other people, we should always try to make sure they're washed.
What?
And
Doctor,
in some stores, they do sell pre-washed fruit and vegetables. You would just have to look out for that in the label. So as I'm cutting the strawberries, does anybody know what the inside color of these is? Can anybody see?
like
What color
white?
is it, guys?
What?
It's like a white, right?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, little white.
Can anybody tell me what the inside color of ripe strawberries is? Is it more white or is it more pink in color or red?
Sometimes
What
sometimes they're pink.
Sometimes they're pink, right?
Yeah.
So we know a strawberry is ripe when you cut it, the inside is pink or even red.
Well,
These strawberries that I have here do have some lighter tones to them, like white. And that is okay. The strawberries are still good. It just might mean that they're not ripe. A main reason for that right now is that the strawberries are not in season. I think strawberry season starts here in a few months, so we should be having some pretty red strawberries.
Sometimes I go to the store and get some fruit, and I make sure I get them. I wash them.
Yeah, so it's pretty hard to find, right? If it's
Yeah.
not in season.
Yeah.
And when you can find it, we'll see that the color or the quality has changed a little bit, even though we can still find them. And we'll also see an increase in prices. See how this strawberry is red inside and out?
yeah,
This one's pretty ripe.
yeah, pretty much.
So one of the ingredients that I won't be adding in today is sugar. So in the recipe that I was given, she sprinkles a teaspoon of sugar, or a tablespoon of sugar, I'm sorry, onto the strawberries. Her reason for this is that the strawberries she had bought were not ripe. So she just wanted to make sure that they have the extra sweetness. See, another ripe strawberry. I won't be doing that today just because we want to keep in mind for our diabetic friends. And then, so the whole thing about fruit is that we want it to be healthy, right? So I don't want to add any extra sugar when I see that most of these are already pretty ripe. But if you're getting it out of season and you see that the inside of the strawberries are pretty white, you might want to add a little bit of sugar.
Some strawberries are sour.
Yeah, some strawberries are sour, right? It's like oranges. Some are sweet and some are sour, right?
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. Another one of the ingredients that I will not be adding in today, just because I felt like the recipe didn't really need it, is sour cream. So she used a cup of sour cream, I believe, to thicken the base, which I'll show you guys how to make right now.
Okay.
I don't mind mine being too liquidy, so I won't be adding in the sour cream to the strawberries. But if you want it to be a little bit thicker, then yeah, I would definitely add the 1 cup of sour cream. I think she used a Daisy sour cream.
Okay.
We're almost done with the strawberries, guys.
Okay.
Never rush when cutting. Always take your time. It's always better safe than sorry, right? We don't want to cut ourselves. We want to practice safety.
Yeah.
For those of you who have tried it, what kind of toppings did you guys use? Did you guys put any toppings on this, or did you guys just eat them as is?
Any fruit like grapes or different?
Grape.
Yeah, so you can definitely add some more fruit like grapes, and you can even end up making like a fruit salad out of this.
Yeah.
Any other toppings? Any other toppings, guys? Has anybody ever tried these with like granola on top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one of the more common ways to eat these. You can eat them plain as is. Hi. Hi. Hi, how are you? Hi. You can add toppings like granola, shredded
Blueberries.
coconut. What was that, Andre?
Like blueberries.
Blueberries. Yeah, so you can make this
Blueberries.
any which way. You can even add a few chocolate chips if you want some chocolate in there. So completely up to you guys. Today we'll just be doing them plain as is.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys can add whatever you guys like to them. That's why I like this recipe. You guys can add, take away. So I followed a recipe, but I'm not adding a few of the ingredients.
Okay.
And then if you guys remake this at home, you don't have to do everything I did here. You guys can switch out your ingredients, right? I've seen people put banana slices in this.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Okay. So
Pretty good.
I went ahead and finished cutting all the strawberries. I'm going to put this to the side really quick. All right. So now we have our strawberries. They're washed. They've been cut up, right? Now we're going to get our wet ingredients. We're going to do a whole can of Nestle's table cream or media crema. We're going to add the whole can. This is 7.6 fluid ounces. So we're going to go ahead and add that in here.
What is that?
It's table cream. So it's almost like a sour cream. See how thick the consistency is?
Yeah.
That's why I didn't want to add the sour cream today, because I felt like with this it would be enough. But if you want it a little bit thicker, you can definitely add 1 cup of sour cream, or you can even add 2 of these. So again, this is Nestle's table cream or media crema. And just be in mind, be extra careful. These edges are really sharp and they can cut you just like a knife. So if you need a little help, or the best thing would be before putting this in here would just be to remove the whole thing like that. So you don't got to worry about cutting yourself, because this is sharp, this is not, right? So just be aware of that. We'll move that over to the side. Next, we're going to try to open up 1 can of lechera or sweetened condensed milk. The brand does not matter. Today I'll be using Nestle's brand, but I know the Walmart Great Value has a brand. I think Target has their own brand. Winco has their own brand. So whatever store you guys go to, you don't have to buy Nestle. You can buy whatever the store brand is, and it's just as good. So again, going back, you can customize this recipe however you want. Or you can even skip on the sweetened condensed milk if that's what you want. I know it's a little sweet. I know they also have different versions. When I was in the store looking at these yesterday, they had a fat-free version for those of us who are trying to eat a little healthier. They also had a dulce de leche flavor. I don't know how that would taste in this, but it seems like it would taste pretty good. And then they had a sugar-free version, I believe, as well. So for any of those watching sugar intakes, you guys can definitely pick out that option. Today, I just picked the original version. But again, just avoiding the extra sugar because I just feel like it's not needed. But if you guys want to do that at home, you totally can. Okay. So I went ahead and opened the can most of the way. I'm going to go ahead. I don't have a butter knife on me, but I'm going to grab the back of a spoon to try to open the can. Why would I not try to finish opening the can with my fingers? Why would I
Did you
not?
cut yourself?
Because
You
I can
cut
cut.
yourself.
So even though it seems like so easy for me to put my finger in here, I'm not going to do that. It's not safe. Best option is a butter knife. If you don't have a butter knife, this little hack, you can use the back end of a spoon or a fork, and it'll work just as fine. And
Okay.
it's just to get the lid open. See, that's all it needed. It was already opened. I just needed the lid to be back all the way. And again, if you can't take the lid off all the way, just be careful. The edges are really sharp, okay?
All right.
So has anybody ever tried lechera or sweetened condensed milk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a French
So it's
toast.
pretty thick, right? See how it's taking a while?
Thick.
So to kind of help it out, I'm going to use a spoon and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to scoop that in there.
All right.
And I'm going to add the whole can.
Okay.
And then same thing for the table cream or the media crema. I think a lot of stores also have their own brand. So you don't have to use brands like Nestle. You can use the store brand and it'll work just as fine.
Okay.
So that was 14 ounces of la lechera or sweetened condensed milk. And this already comes with sugar. This one that I have with the blue on the outside, it has sugar in it. So that's why I won't be adding the extra sugar today.
All right.
So I'm going to go ahead and put this off to the side. And our final ingredient for today is going to be vanilla flavoring. Today I'm using this brand. It's just what my store had. You can use the store brand. You can use whatever you have at home. This one happens to be the Mexican vanilla blend. So that's what I have. That's what I'm going to be using. And I'm going to be doing 2 tablespoons of this.
All right.
Using a tablespoon measuring.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and open that. I'm going to do 1. And then I'm going to do 2. Perfect. I will go ahead and close that up. Now I'm just going to go ahead and grab a spoon and mix it all up.
Mix it all up.
See how it's pretty thick, you guys?
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't want to add the sour cream. If you want to make it a little bit more watery, you can also add a can of evaporated milk. I didn't bring that today, but you can just do a quick Google search or ask employee at whatever grocery store you're at. Do you guys have a can of evaporated milk? If you're trying to do a more liquid consistency, I would add the whole can, which I believe usually comes in a size like this, like la lechera, which is about 14 ounces.
Yeah. Once again.
Or if you don't want to take a quick trip to the store and you have milk at your house, maybe just add a cup of milk, right? So that's the beauty about this recipe. You can do it whatever which way. You can add different toppings in here. Today we'll be leaving it as is. And we're just going around and we're just mixing everything, making sure everything's incorporated because that lechera or the sweetened condensed milk is pretty thick. So we want to make sure it's getting everywhere, right?
Yep.
Looks good.
It looks pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And we use pretty healthy ingredients too, so we don't have to feel like guilty or anything about eating this. Like Andrea said, a lot of people eat this as dessert. So that's our fresas con crema or our strawberries and cream. Does anybody have any questions for me?
That looks like it would be good over like an angel food cake or something.
No.
That sounds
Yes,
good.
yes.
That's good.
So because I put a lot of dairy products in here and we have fresh fruit, I'm going to go ahead and keep this in the fridge. And I would recommend keeping it in the fridge until you finish eating it. So if you want to take it out of the fridge, grab some, eat it, I'll just put it back.
Okay.
Just because a lot of our ingredients need to be refrigerated.
Yeah.
Pretty quick, right? Pretty simple.
Yeah.
All right.
Did anyone
guys.
have any questions for her?
No, Nicole.
All right.